For some reason, recently, whenever there's a wildfire somewhere in the world, I get tagged on it on Twitter constantly. It's like I'm treated like Smokey the Bear all of a sudden, and I understand where it comes from. It's because I've talked about all kinds of gender reveal party disasters, and most of those end in a wildfire that ravages the entire fucking state. And I guess since then, people just think I want to be updated on like every wildfire ever, even when it's like a totally normal one. Like, Charlie, did you hear? Lightning struck a dry bush on my farm and started a small fire that lasted 15 feet. It's like, damn, that fucking sucks, but what do you want me to do about it? Drive over there and take a hose to it? Like, I'm not the park ranger. Like, if you're reporting wildfires to me, you're already fucking up. I can't, like, call in the helicopter to dump a bucket of water on it to put the kibosh on it. Like, there's nothing I can do. But, for some reason, I am getting tagged every time a wildfire is reported. But something good did come out of this constant update. I did find information on a wildfire that happened in California from a woman who was trying to purify bear urine. And I found this story to just be a ride, a wild and wacky adventure. The headline here had me asking questions I never thought I'd need to ask myself. Like, where do you even find bear urine in the wild? I'm sure you could buy bear urine off eBay or Craigslist. You could probably buy gallons of bear urine there. But if you're just on a hiking trip like this woman was, how do you just source bear urine? Did she get it directly from the dick of the bear? Like the bear just pissed into her open palms like this, so she was cupping it, and then she tried boiling it somehow, like into a pot over a fire. There's just so many questions, and I don't have the answers. I'd have to ask her. Like, there's only so many ways to do it, because if a bear pisses in the woods and no one's around to hear it, you're never gonna find the piss. And even if you saw a bear taking a leak, it's just going to be like on the ground, like on grass. It's going to be, you can't salvage it. It's going to be mixed with dirt, maybe even shit, grass. Like you can't take that and boil it to drink. And why would you want to drink bear urine? I'm sure there were other places to find liquid. It could have been her own urine. She could have pissed into her own hands, Bear Grylls style, and drank that. Wouldn't even need to boil it. You're just recycling your own recipe. So the headline had me boggled. I felt like I was L in Death Note, and I was trying to piece together this mystery. So obviously I was hooked. My interest peaked. So I read the story, and I don't want to show the woman or give any of her information away, but she was a hiker in the California area, and on her hike she got thirsty. She was a bit parched and found a nearby puddle to drink from. However, she noticed that there was bear urine in the puddle and decided that she wanted to boil it so she could safely drink it without drinking bear piss. This was the first plot hole in this Harry Potter novel that I noticed, because how the fuck are you going to know that there's bear piss in that puddle without you having seen the bears do the act? I don't care who you are or how talented you are at identifying urine in bodies of water, you're not going to just see pee-pee in water. It's just not going to happen. Go to any public pool, you assume that there's hundreds of gallons of strangers' urine in there, but you can't just see it to the naked, untrained eye. So there's no way she knew it was bear urine just by looking at it. I have a hypothesis. It's a working theory. I think what happened is a group of bears saw that this woman was dehydrated and decided to play a prank on her. So they're bad bears, right? They're evil. So Freddy Fazbear and the boys, they take turns peeing in this puddle. They know that she's dehydrated and this puddle is the only puddle for miles, and they're going to ruin it for her. So they're tinkling in there, and she has to watch on in horror, knowing that she's now faced with the decision to either drink bear piss or die. And then the bears, they go do something else, I guess. There's no way you go up to a random puddle on your hike and be like, I'm thirsty, but I can tell a bear pissed here. Unless that bear was extremely dehydrated, and then how would you get the genesis of it? How would you know that that urine belonged to a bear? She had to have seen it, and that's a crucial detail that was left out of the reports. How did she know it was bear urine? And how would she even know there was urine in there to begin with? It must have been an extremely dehydrated creature. But anyway, so she gets the water, she wants to boil it. So she tries to start a little fire. She has a cigarette lighter, but she says she's unable to start the fire and then just decides to drink it raw. What a trooper. She just powers through it. She drinks bear piss and then goes about her hike, and then she notices smoke. So she called it in, she called the fire department. They pick her up, and it turns out it created a fire. She was successful, and it created a wildfire that spanned 8,500 acres, I believe. And she's now facing felony charges and could face up to 9 years in prison for it. So that is some expensive bear pee, if I do say so myself. Now, I did find another source that said that there was never a puddle that was mixed with bear urine. There's claiming that she found just a straight up, fucking cornucopia of bear piss that she was trying to boil in order to drink. Her main goal apparently was to hike to Canada, I suppose, but she clearly something went awry along the way. She clearly didn't accomplish that goal. She ended up starting another horrifying wildfire that spread very far. And when rescuers did find her and pick her up, she was still dehydrated. So unfortunately, that chugging of bear piss just wasn't quite enough. No essential nutrients to be had there, it seems. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this with all of you, and that's really just about it. So yeah.